Raptors board number one for not yesterday's, this is 2 days ago since I'm late. I'm going to do both back, two in a row of these, and then this afternoon I'll do the highlight video. That's how this will work today. So you get two recap videos today. So this is for not yesterday, but the day before. So that's where we're going to go from. I made this board yesterday, I finished it today. So we start with the Vancouver Grizzlies and the Orlando Sun Rays. So the Orlando Sun Rays, they start this series with a big win against the Vancouver Grizzlies, 7 runs scored. So maybe Orlando can. They're starting to get wins here and there. They're starting to get their game back going, but definitely still has a lot of work to go. 7 runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Vancouver Grizzlies. They struggled. 2 runs, 6. Good job for Orlando. That's really all I can say. They lead the series 1-0. Then we over to the San Diego Seals and the St. Louis Stars. I'm going to be covering game 3 of this series, actually. So the San Diego Seals, pretty close game. I believe this was an extras, but they were unable. St. Louis, when they got on a front right after, the Seals could not come back to defeat the Stars. Good job for St. Louis to hold on to win 3-2 over San Diego. Then we had the Montreal Expos and the San Francisco Firebirds. First of a 3-game series, Montreal Expos they opened with a bang. 7 runs, 11 hits, just fantastic offense all around. Some good defense to hold the Firebirds through just 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error. So get a big lead early, shut down your opponent defensively throughout the game. Just keep it so that they struggle to get runs through, which San Francisco did. They only got 3 through, and they were unable to make any sort of comeback. Good job for the Expos to lead the series 1-0. Oh boy, here's an interesting one. Crazy game. Cincinnati Stingers against the Chicago Railers. Cincinnati with an absolute blowout win of 15 runs. An 11-run win of the Chicago Railers. Big. Same this, but to an extreme. Get a big fat lead. Get a lead so big that they can. It's not politics, but too big to rig. Pretty much. 15 runs. Too big. It's so big that you're fine. And they did a good job. Just 4 runs and 8 hits allowed for Chicago. But since they were up by so much, it didn't really mean anything. Good job for Cincy. They landed the New York Giants in the Oakland Ocean. Similar story here, but still a blowout, but less of a blowout. Big one for the Oakland Ocean. They beat the New York Giants 10-2. Great job defensively and pitching wise. Great job. They were able to get out of tough situations. 2 runs. They do allow 10 hits, but they get out of most of it, and they only allow 2 runs to score. But meanwhile, the Oakland Ocean, they did a great job despite their 2 defensive errors. 10 runs, 14 hits. Fantastic numbers. And they went in to take a 1-0 series lead. Then we head to the Houston Cosmos and the Columbus Aviators. First of a 3-game series. And the Cosmos with a 4-3 win over Columbus. Pretty close one. I remember. Oh yeah, I covered this game 2 days ago. Oh boy. It was not fun. It was Columbus. They basically made me think I had hope the entire time, and then crushed my hopes at the end of the game in the 8th inning. Yep, that's exactly. Then some more hope. Maybe come back. Oh, yeah, no, you won't come back. Good job for Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton and Mark Vientos. They won this game for Houston. Those two with the back-to-back home runs in the 8th. Good job, Cosmos. Come on, I want to see better from the Aviators. Then we had Philadelphia and the Texas Twisters. So for the Philadelphia Liberty, a 3-0 shutout. Really good job defensively. They don't allow a run. Texas with just 4 hits. Not much to say here besides good defense. Philadelphia, great pitching. And they're keeping Texas down. Keeping them down. Struggling. Twisters struggled in game 1 of the series. Then we into the Northern Lights and the Washington Monuments. So for the Monuments, this is a high-scoring game, period. But Washington, late in the game, they're able to extend that lead big time to 12-7 with a big win over the Minnesota Northern Lights. They win 12-7, 15 runs, 15 hits and an error, 7 runs, 14 hits, and no errors for the Northern Lights. Good job by Washington to jump out to that lead and hold on to it, and then over the Minnesota Northern Lights, 12-7 to take a 1-0 series lead. Then we to the bottom row. We have the Toronto Huskies and the Detroit Motors. First of a 3-game series in Toronto, pretty close one, but they jump out on top to win 6-5 on 13 hits and no errors. Good job. Toronto, especially defensively, probably could have been a walk-off win. It does look like it was. Huskies 6-5 win. It was a close battle, but Toronto wins the ball game. And Detroit, first mistakes it. Some mistakes, most likely defensively, are what lost them this game. And something you gotta work on. Maybe you can, I don't know, it's like an individual play thing as well as the group. Baseball is weird because it's individual but also a group at the same time. It's a weird thing about baseball because, you know, pitcher, that's like a very individual. A lot of it's all on the pitcher. And then he dictates the game, sort of. Not as much as used to now. Pitch clock dictates the game as far as like the speed and stuff goes, but Jake throws that they are part of what the direct result is, and who the batters, they have their own part. So yeah, baseball's not like, because the other sports, everybody also has a very active all the time, like basketball, hockey, and football. In soccer, they all have a very active role all the time for everybody that is actively on the field. Baseball, no. It doesn't have that. That's one thing, any unique thing about baseball. I don't even get to rambling about baseball. The Arrows and the Tampa Bay Titans first of a 3-game series. That's wrong. That is so wrong. I know, because I covered that. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Okay, a little jump cut. So, alright. So I fixed it. There we go, series tied at 1, because Atlanta did a really good job of the first 2 games of this series. Especially because offensively, they just, look at these numbers, dude. Look at these numbers. The first 2 games. First, 9 runs. Second game, 5 runs, 14 hits. And they're doing a good job defensively, and just enough to shut down Tampa Bay in both games. Really good job throughout the first 2. Atlanta wins this one 5-3. You'll see game 3 in the second video I post today, but yeah. So I have with the Atlanta Arrows, Tampa Bay Titans. The way to the Albuquerque Aliens of the Boston Whalers. Gonna try and wrap these 2 up quickly so I can get to board number 2, because I'm gonna do 4 boards as far as I know. 4. So Albuquerque Aliens series 1-0. The Aliens, just fantastic. Defensively, look at those numbers against Boston. 1 run, 7 hits, and an error. 1 run, 7 hits allowed. That means they're getting out of situations very well. Even if they have like 2 runners on, that they're able to get out of it. Probably some double plays in there contributed to that. The Aliens, 6 runs, 11 hits. Good job offensively. They're getting here. Consistent hits, and they're scoring runs. Aliens wins game 6-1, take 1 up the series lead. The way to the final game of board number 1 of 4. Edmonton Eagles win 5-2 over the Portland Anchors. 5 runs, 2 hits, 12 hits and an error for the Edmonton Eagles, but they still win. They do a good job shut down Portland. Just 2 runs, 7 hits. Good pitching wise, getting the outs quickly without able to get out of tough situations like a lot of these teams, like Albuquerque as well. Good job for the Eagles. They won 5-2 to take a 1-0 series lead. And we head to board number 2. So here's board number 2 for 2 days ago. So the Seattle Sasquatch and the Memphis Blues for 3 games set. Pretty close one. The Seattle Sasquatch with 18 hits. But the Blues, defensively, they did fantastic. They shut them down enough and to hold them to 8 runs, and they're able to overcome that with 9 runs on 10 hits and an error, and they win the game 9-8. Pretty close one. Blues win, and they lead the series 1-0. The way to Utah. The Utah Raptors, New Orleans Gators, first of a 3-game set. Pretty close game here, but the Utah Raptors, a lot of base hits. They had 13 2 days ago against the New Orleans Gators. Utah Raptors win 6-5. And the way the series 1-0. This team, after that breaking that 8-game losing streak, is fantastic. The way to the New York Sailors and the Las Vegas Gamblers. So Sailors lead the series 1-0. And they have a big offensive performance, 6 runs and 8 hits against the Gamblers. It's not necessarily, the thing is, the Gamblers are one of the worst teams in the league. So it does diminish. It's not that hard to put up a lot of runs against Vegas. It's not. It just isn't. Good job for the Sailors. And they won just 2 runs and 8 hits and an error. Well, 2 runs and 8 hits plus the error for the Gamblers. Sailors win 6-2 and they lead the series 1-0. And see ya for board numbers 3 and 4 for yesterday's games. Goodbye.